It's the time to get down.
The fact that your president Obama has indicated of favoring a non-nuclear Middle East, which specifically affects Israel. Israel's had a non-disclosure policy about its nuclear weapons since 1969, and of course, you wonder how much of that we gave them or helped them build. But you don't know what Israel actually has. They have a non-disclosure policy, which they entered in a pact with the U.S. not to talk about what they have. So they don't want to be any non-proliferative agreement. And they're pissed off about even having that brought up because they say that the U.S. is turning their back on them. Well, in the face of that, to then come down on this ship in the way, well, let me just show you. We got a couple of things. Here's a picture right here, Vic, you can see on the desktop of the armed folks. Now, remember, I'm thinking of Kent State. Because, you know, I'm an old hippie. I'm an old hippie.
You're wrong, man. You're not that old. Just a little ancient.
Didn't you go to Howard?
Yes.
That's what I
and
thought.
I went to USC, too.
Yeah, I knew there was a bond. The greatest school on earth. Go Lane, go Kiffin. #1, national champs.
Reports say up to 20 people were killed and dozens injured as Israeli commandos stormed the vessels over 100 kilometers off Gaza's coast. Some of the ships are now being towed to the Israeli port city of Ashdod. Well, from there, RT's Paul Sleer has the latest.
The Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas has declared 3 days of national mourning. He says that this morning's killings can be viewed as nothing short of mass murder. This evening, 6 o'clock local time, the Palestinian Authority will be holding an emergency meeting, and Abbas says there will be tough decisions that will need to be made at that meeting. Now here, the latest figures we are hearing is that some 20 people have been killed. The Israeli army, for the first time actually coming out publicly and talking on this event for its side, says that the figure is only 10 people dead. Having said that, though, the Israeli army and Israeli police are on high alert throughout the country. In fact, Israeli police are on their highest alert below the state of emergency. We understand that some 30 buses are being organized by the Islamic movement. They will be bringing in protesters to central Israel who will be demonstrating against what happened this morning on the outskirts of Gaza. The first ambulances have arrived at Israeli hospitals, so the first patients are being brought to hospitals near Ashkelon and in Haifa. We also are hearing from the Magen David Adom, which is Israel's emergency services, that it is in a state of high alert, but it is coping, although it expects the number of injured to steadily rise throughout the day. Now, according to the Israeli army, what transpired in the early hours of this morning is that they asked one of the ships to turn back, at which stage they then sent commando units onto the vessel when the ship refused to do that. The army says that it was confronted with what they are calling a well-planned lynch, and that is the term being used by the IDF spokesperson. They say that 6 Navy commanders were injured. They say that their troops were attacked by live ammunition and other weapons. Now, we have no word on this, at least not now, from those who were on board the vessels, but that is the IDF speaking for the first time on what happened. Hamas has called this an outrage. It says it is nothing short of state-sponsored terrorism. This is what Ismail Haniyeh, the leader of the movement in Gaza, had to say.
We call on the Secretary-General of the UN, Ban Ki-moon, to shoulder his responsibilities to protect the safety of the solidarity groups on board these ships and to secure their way to Gaza.
Now, there has been international condemnation, as you can well imagine, and we are hearing calls from countries around the world about what happened this morning. At the Turkish consulate in Istanbul, demonstrators gathered outside the building. They started throwing stones at the building. The Israeli ambassador and other Israeli officials were summoned to the foreign ministry to explain exactly what happened in the early hours of this morning. We're also hearing that protests have broken out in Lebanon. No doubt the international community will heavily criticize what will be seen as a heavy hand by Israel. Even where I'm standing here at Ashdod port, there's a small group of demonstrators, both Arab and Jewish, who have arrived here, who are shouting and yelling. And so these kind of scenes, while small at the moment, are likely to grow.
Paul Sleer reporting there, and earlier RT spoke to...
There's a couple other pieces I pulled up on this because they were so poignant. Here's one. Yeah, this one's pretty. What happened was they were online and actually were streaming. So as some of this was taking place, some of the stuff was actually streamed out during the actual attacks. As you can see, they were already on the internet.
So this is live footage.
This is live footage. So there's different things. There's different pieces. Let me see. I got another one I wanted to show you. This one here.
אנחנו ממשיכים ומקרינים. הפעילים כינור או התנועה הזאת
I wish I could understand that language. A few, but not that one.
בעצם מה שעשינו עם החומר, החומר הצילומים
There was one. I got one that's
Oh, I know you're probably looking for that sweet one, the one that is your favorite.
Bu gemide bebekler var. Hastalar içince binlerce yıl.
look at this. This one shows, okay. Now this is the kind of stuff that's going out
Demir mermi atıyorlar.
immediately.
Ve çok sayıda yaralımız var. Evet, 20'nin üzerinde yaralımız var.
عسكرية تقترب الآن من السفينة سفينة مرمرة إضافة إلى الزوارق التي تحاول تسلق يعني الجنود على الميناء.
So this is an international incident now. Now, what happened was that the people took off like it was a big celebration, like it was a big protest party. I don't think they expected to be met with gunfire. And they're saying that they're alleging that they were supposedly smuggling weapons. I'm sure if they were to smuggle weapons, they would have probably picked a thing away that was more perhaps discreet.
Yeah.
That would be my first choice for smuggling the weapons.
Yeah.
Here you go again watching this. And this is the kind of stuff I want you to see what the world gets to see. So a lot of this is already going out in the world community. It's so inflammatory going out to the countries. The Turkish private, Anyway. So that's the bummer. So you're going to be hearing more about this today. I think Netanyahu has lost his mind. But, the thing is, he already has come into somewhat of a conflict with Obama, and privately, the rumors were on the internet that he said he felt he could outlast Obama, and that Obama was going to be a one-term president, and that he could outlast him and deal with the next president, and that's what he was intending to do. That's what was going on over the internet. I don't know if anybody in the chat room so you can respond. We don't have Danny here today, so we try to deal with that chat ourselves. Chit chat.
Yeah, but they still have their opinions. And Netanyahu, he's picking,
first of all,
what's his platform?
Well, my thing is, what do you gain from this?
Yeah.
First of all, you got the whole world out there. You got North Korea. You know what's going to happen? See, the Iranians, the Iraqis, the Iraqis snatched the hikers.
Right.
Now, they're going to say, well, at least we don't kill them. We may grab you and jail you.
That's true.
But we'll put you on parade. What did he have to gain from this type of military effort?
I have no idea.
I mean, and you got outrage all over the world.
Israel needs to be at the same standard, the same level
as
everyone else.
I'm reminding everyone.
Special treatment.
Yes.
And they noticed they had Israelis who also were protesting. This is why I reminded everyone today to always think in terms of governments, not people, because that'll help you fight that racism that is such a natural part of us. Our racism and sexism and all the isms.
You know what?